Welcome to another video tutorial on how to use Belina Payroll HR. Today we're going to show you on how to adjust history transaction codes. This is a process when we change previous transaction codes in a previous period. Before we change, I'd like you to take note of this. Once you make any changes on a previous period, you'll need to resubmit a new ZIMRA P2 report because your history codes would have changed, also change in your PAYE report. So you'll need to change this report and resubmit for the current period that you have changed. Furthermore, we'll continue. The transaction codes that will change in the previous period will be these following transaction codes highlighted: leave days taken, cost of living allowance, PAYE, net pay. Please note I've wrote 5 for leave days taken. This is not a monetary value, but it's a figure that will enter in the previous period. And our cost of living allowance, this is monetary value 55. So the reason why my net pay and my payee is empty is because we do not know how much amount will be on our payee and our net pay. We can calculate this off Belina on your manual paper or on your calculator, but it would be best if you do it in the Belina system. Let it calculate, give you the correct net pay and PAYE and enter them. For us to be able to do this, we'll need to do it in a current pay slip. So I'll select on our employees 002 and I'll change the cost of living allowance. Once I do the change here, it will give us our payee calculated and our net pay, so we can adjust on our previous period. So I'll take in our cost of living allowance is 550. I'll change here and enter that figure. Once entered, I'll select the button compute. Once it's done the computation, our PAYE is this month, is this amount, and our net pay is this amount. So you'll need to know if your transaction codes are the same as the previous period and you want to change them. Ensure that the net pay is the same, all the transactions are the same for you to enter them in this current period, so it will take effect in the previous period. So I'll just enter these figures. Our payee that's calculated, it's minus 376.66, and I'll take in our net pay, that's 3,495. So once you've obtained these calculations, I'll minimize and close our payslip input and close there, and I'll select on data, history data, maintenance. You'll need to have an admin password. If you don't have an admin password, you won't be able to access into your history. And select OK once you have that. Now the history that we need to enter is for an individual in employee code 002, our employee. So once you have your employee master records, you'll select the employee, highlight and select, and you will click on where it says period, and you'll select your period that you need to change the history. We have the history from 005 for 2020 until 2018. So once you select the period that you'll change, you select it, and we'll change our history by entering the leave days taken. We change it from 3 here to 5. Our cost of living will do the change. So hence we'll start with our cost of living allowance from 500 to 550. We'll highlight and you'll say change. Put in the figure. Press enter. Please take note of a notification that comes in that says transaction not in balance. This notification lets you know that your payslip is not in balance, or it is not in balance by 50. So we'll need to balance it. For us to balance it, we have to enter the same figures that we have here. The next transaction code we'll select, leave days taken. We'll enter 5, highlight, you change. We'll change here where it says unit value, we'll put it 5. Hence take note, our start and end date automatically change because we have entered the unit 5. Next transaction code that will change is the PAYE calculated. You highlight and you select change. So our figure is 376.66. I'll copy it into our system here. Ensure that it is a minus when entering our PAYE, because it's always a deduction. And it still says transaction not in balance. So what is left is our net pay. We need to enter our net pay to ensure that it balances. Highlight net pay, select change, and highlight and paste. And press OK. Once you don't see our notification, that means that it has balanced. This means that we have balanced our transaction code for the history period 05, and we are in period 06. So if you don't see it appearing, the notification that says it is not imbalanced and it's blank like this now at the bottom, that means that everything is balanced. And we'll close and you'll select close. This brings us to the end of our tutorial. Thanks for watching.